You don't have to quit your job to build a business that sets you free. You just have to be willing to do it differently. And differently means that you want to build your business around your life, not your life around your business. And unfortunately, far too often, women entrepreneurs in particularly tend to make a major mistake and they build their life around their business, especially women who are coming from a corporate career and making that transition. And there's a reason for that. Okay, here's what I want you to know. Women, most women, not all, but most women, you might be one, wait for clarity before they take action. And the truth is, clarity actually comes from taking aligned action. Okay, so we need not wait, we need to jump into action. So today, I'm going to be walking you through 5 simple steps for starting a business that aligns with your values, with your vision, with your energy, with your expertise, even if you are still working your 9 to 5. Okay? This will be a no fluff, no overwhelm tutorial that I'm going to walk you through. We're going to use my KISS method, that is keeping it super simple. Okay? Nothing to overcomplicate here. And I'm actually going to tell you exactly what it really takes. I'm going to be using my 5P method to break this all the way down. Okay? So make sure that you have something to write with as I drop these gems because you don't want to miss out. Or go ahead and listen to this all the way through. And then you can always go back to the beginning with a piece of paper in hand so you can take notes and write it down, get into action, and get the results that you're looking for. Okay? So let's get through this. The first P is pick a problem. Pick a problem. You're picking a problem that you've already solved for yourself or that you've lived through. Okay? It could also be a problem that you solve for someone else, but oftentimes we solve the problem for ourselves first, and then we can solve it for somebody else, and we know we get results, right? So pick a problem that you've even either solved for yourself or for someone else, or like I said, that you've lived through. Okay, this is where your story becomes the solution. What challenges have you overcome that others are still stuck in? Like think back to where you used to be, just a few steps back, just a few years, maybe a year or two or a few weeks or months ago, right? Where were you then? What was the process or the steps or the solution you came up with to take you through that? And now you're on the other side of it. What is that thing? Because real life experiences equals real life value. And that's what other people need because they're still there where you once were. So they are looking for how did you come from where you were to where it is you are now? Because this is where they aspire to be. Okay. This is going to be your proof of concept, by the way. So think of something that you've either personally overcome or you helped others navigate through, or both. And oftentimes it's both, okay? Not always, but can be. So some examples might be burnout recovery, managing time, um, managing time as a single mom, maybe as a busy businesswoman, a busy professional, right? Balancing both entrepreneurship and working in a 9 to 5. It could be organizing chaos, decluttering a small space. It could be learning how to navigate from or healing through a toxic job or other environments, not necessarily a work environment, maybe just a dysfunctional environment. Maybe you're someone who is on the other side of divorce, right? And you can teach somebody what that experience was like for you and how you went through that process. And now, what does life look like on the other side? What is life after divorce? What is life after corporate, right? If you're helping people navigate through transitioning from a corporate career to starting a business, perhaps. So those are just some examples, okay? So the first place to look for your purpose is in your pain, okay? The pain that you've healed from and helped others through. You don't need another certification, another license. You don't need more credentials behind your name. You don't need to pursue another degree. You don't need any of that to make this work. You don't need to have had any of those things, in fact, to solve people's problems. As long as you have lived experience and you've already conquered what you've conquered, right? Well, you've conquered the problem, then that's what you need. You don't need to have a certification if you've already conquered the problem. Okay? So that's the first P. Now, the second P is to package. Package it simply. Remember, we're keeping this super simple. You with me so far? Package it simply. That means you want to offer clarity. I want you to keep this part light, okay? Think about facilitating workshops, an online course, many services, digital assets, coaching or consulting. I want you to think about the lowest hanging fruit. And I want you to start with just one, not a bunch of offers, not a whole product suite, none of that. We'll get to that later. We're keeping it super simple. That means for now, we just need to start with one. One outcome you can help someone else with. Just one, okay? I don't want you to overthink this. Don't start thinking about overcomplicated 50-step funnels. I don't want you to start overwhelming yourself with the tech. You don't need a team. You don't need a whole lot of time. Again, what I'm walking you through is specifically designed with you in mind, especially if you are someone who is a parallelpreneur, meaning you are building an aligned and profitable brand in business while you are still working in your corporate career. Okay, so this is why we're making this super simple. So don't complicate anything. Focus on the transformation, the one big promise, the one big result, the outcome that people get as a result of working with you. Understood? Create one simple offer that solves one problem for one person, your ideal client avatar. Who is he or she? Who is that one person you have in mind? The one person that you do your best work with and get the best result for. Okay, think of that one ideal client avatar, your dream client. An example might be a 4-week coaching service or program, offer, package, whatever you want to call it, all the same. Okay, a digital checklist, a 90-minute intensive, a 30-day boot camp, whatever it is, one offer that solves the problem of that one person who's looking for the solution that you have. That is your offer. Okay. Clarity is what sells. Confusion stalls. Confused minds don't buy, right? So a simple offer that solves real problems is all you need. And the clearer your promise, the easier it is for your dream client, your ideal client avatar, to say yes. Okay. Now, before we get to the next P, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. Let me know so far if we're keeping this super simple, where you are in the journey, and what was your aha moment so far. Also, if you are getting value from my video and you've perused around my page and you watched other maybe, videos or saw any other content and you're loving my vibe and want to be a part of my tribe, make sure you subscribe, okay? And hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live. All right? Now, let's go ahead and get back to business so we can keep this super simple. This is going to be sweet, short, simple, succinct, all the things that's going to help you just get right in there, get to action, and get the result. for yourself and for the person who you are called to serve. Okay, so then third P is pick one platform just to start. And even if you're not at the very beginning of your journey, like maybe you've been building, maybe it's been a bit inconsistent of a process, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter where you are in the journey. I want you to I want you to scale back, and instead of trying to be everywhere and on all of the platforms, just be on one. Like just for the next 30 to 60 to 90 days, focus on one thing, right? One thing, okay? So pick one platform. Don't try to be omnipresent right now. That will come later, and I'll show you and tell you how to do that in another video, but not right now. We're going to choose this one platform based on where your peeps already are. Where are they hanging out right now? Where do they live, so to speak, on the digital platforms, okay? What feels fun and sustainable for you? Like YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, uh, there's so many out there. Like I can go on and name it. You already know what they all are. You probably even by now, you might even know of some other platforms that you might be on that I'm not on, right? There's Pinterest and just all the different platforms. Pick the one that feels most fun and sustainable for you. An example would be if people are searching, if your people, not just all people, if your peeps are searching, you want to be on YouTube. Okay? If they're just scrolling and they're looking for just a quick fix and they like just quick little bite-sized pieces of information, then you might want to just be on TikTok or Instagram, okay? If they want instant gratification, those would be your platforms. If they are someone who is into connecting, collaborating, and professional people who are looking for partnerships, then you want to be on LinkedIn. So again, we're keeping this super simple. That's a way that you can, like think through it and decide where your peeps already are hanging out. Okay. Show up consistently with value driven content and make sure that it is connecting and that you are connecting, but you're resonating with your message to the audience that you are called to serve, because messaging is everything. We want to attract the right people and repel the wrong people. So your messaging is going to be super important, okay? Dial that in so that you're speaking to the hearts of those individuals, to the souls of those individuals, and getting in the heads of those individuals who you are called to serve. Don't try to chase every trend. Stay in your lane. Operate from your zone of genius. Pick a lane if you don't yet really know what your lane is. And as you're trying to figure it all out, stick with that lane, own it, and show up in it consistently every single day. Plus, I want you to go for consistency over virality or over vanity metrics, okay? Because you do not need, contrary to popular belief, you do not need a large following or a big audience. You need loyal fans. And that is it to make a sustainable living in the online space and to have a profitable business. You do not need a big audience, a large following to make that happen. You don't need a million subscribers, okay, to make that happen. And even if you're on YouTube and you haven't gotten monetized with AdSense yet, doesn't matter. You can have a handful of subscribers and still make thousands of dollars or more on YouTube, because you're using YouTube. If you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, right? You're building your brand and business in this online space. You only need a few loyal fans who are ready to invest in you, to buy into your solution, to get them a result. And it doesn't require you to have a large fan base or, like I said, following or subscribers. Okay, just want to make sure you know that. So pick that one platform. that you're going to be constantly willing to constantly show up. Because see, here's the thing, people use the word consistently all the time, but what I want you to know is that it's not just about consistency if you don't have the right strategy. So consistency, yes, but with the right strategy. Okay. Then the next P, the fifth and final, or no, excuse me, I think I'm left off on the third. So fourth P, post value packed content. Okay, value packed content. That means test your message, share your story, teach what you know, see what resonates with the audience. And if you're not sure where to start, again, we're not complicating this. I'm going to repeat it 100 times. Keep it super simple. Dial it in. Start with where you are. Work with what you have and do what you know. That is my philosophy. That is what I want you to follow. Low hanging fruit. Okay. So don't aim for perfection, aim for connection and progress. Make the progress. As long as you're making progress in the right direction, you'll be fine. I want you to pay attention to what questions are being asked. So when you post your video, when you post your content in your communities or whatever platform you pick, when you do your shorts or your reels or whatever, your articles, depending on what platform you do pick, make sure you're paying particular attention to what the people are saying. What are they asking for? What conversations are they having? What's the dialogue about? You need to make sure that you are picking up what they're putting down, right? So you're going to get your feedback this way. This is a great way for you to survey your audience to know, how they're responding, what's resonating, what's hitting those heartstrings or pulling on those heartstrings, what's hitting home for them, what's deeply resonating with those people, because that's what you want to put more, content out like that. I want you to start conversations in the DMs, in the comments, ask questions, listen to the feedback, because that's where so many business owners, entrepreneurs go wrong. They are on social media, not being social. And, that's what it's all about. You want to build a deeper affinity, deeper relationships with those individuals. Okay. Clarity gets sharper every single time you put something out there, you listen to what's being said, and then you follow suit as you're sharing your message. Okay. So understand that your business begins the moment you stop hiding and start being visible and helping. Stop hiding and start helping. Okay. Your business is not ever going to be built in your head. It is going to be built in the hearts of those you are called to serve. So, the fifth and final P is to protect your energy and your time. Again, we're talking about alignment here, not just profits, alignment. So, it's fine to make revenue, even better to have a profitable business, right? Because the money you make is not necessarily the money you keep. However, once we get to making a profit in our business, we also wanted to make sure that we are building an aligned business. That requires you to protect your energy and your time. So don't overbook yourself, set creative hours and boundaries, okay? Do not clutter your calendar. Do not do it. You want a spacious calendar. Focus on high impact activities that's going to give you the highest return on your investment. Okay, only high income producing activities is all you need to be focused on in the beginning. Stop priding yourself on wearing all the hats and doing all the things. That is not cute, it is not sexy, and it is a fast way to burn out. You feel what I'm saying? Okay, make time for rest, reflection, and recalibration, because we want to avoid burnout, right? We've got to avoid burnout. If we're talking about alignment, then burnout cannot be a part of the plan. Make sure that you're scheduling sacred time that's dedicated to working on your business. I don't care if it's just 90 minutes a day, in the crevices of your day, that, wake up a little early in the morning before you head to work, lunchtime breaks. after work, wherever you can fit it in, but where you are the most energetic. Even a few hours on the weekend or during the week, all of that matters. You don't have to burn out to build your business, okay, or to build your dream, nor do you need to drown in the dream, okay? Your peace is a part of the business plan. You got me? So, here are common mistakes that women make, newbies and seasoned entrepreneurs, because they just get lost in all of the confusion and confusion of it all of the madness of, maddening cycle of marketing and promoting and positioning and all of that on their way to profiting. So, stop waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. The best time is now. That's the first mistake. Second mistake is stop trying to monetize without clarity. You need clarity. And the third mistake that a lot of women entrepreneurs make is copying what others are doing instead of just depending on and trusting your own story and your own strength. So stop doing that. Okay. Now, if you want help mapping out your entire situation, where you are in the journey right now, like where you are and where you ultimately want to be, and you're making this transition, but it's been a lot of obstacles in the way and bumpy roads, right? And steep terrains and muddy waters and just an emotional roller coaster. And you're like, I need to clear my head, clear the way, and I need to figure out exactly what I need to do in what order and at the right time and all of that. Steps 1, 2, 3, ABC. I want to hire a coach and work with somebody who's already been there, done that, and can help me, navigate this thing and make a smooth, seamless transition. I'm your girl. Okay. Make sure that if you on your way out the door, as you have one toe in and one toe out, book your freedom and focus clarity call with me. Okay. So let's design a game plan together so you can stop trying to Google your way to success, continue to watch YouTube University and piecing things all together. And you turn out to have a Frankenstein business, right? So we don't want to create a monster of a business. We want to create an aligned and profitable online brand and business. Remember that. So book a freedom and focus clarity call. And if you want a deeper transformation, then I would invite you to my 30-day premium group coaching program, the Legacy Leaders Lab. That might be your next aligned best move. And so we can talk more about that when you get on a call with me. So I'll go through the details with you. The first order of business is to book a clarity call so we can get this all figured out, give you the clarity and insights you need, have an enlightening and empowering conversation, and put you on the right freedom path, right? The right route to your freedom path. Because right now you might be at a crossroads and one sign is saying going this way, that might be going towards the dangerous route. And this sign is your freedom path. You wouldn't know that necessarily. So let's go ahead and get on a call so I can help you map it all out. Okay. Now, that's my time. So I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends and watch the next video that YouTube recommends. Okay. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.